Hello again, everyone. Another message, which is from a contribution. Remember, if you contribute to the GoFundMe and you want a video made, you go right to the top of the list. Hello, Ali. I've been watching your videos for about a year now. Your insight into narcissism is invaluable and has helped me to begin to identify narcissistic traits in others so I can protect myself from the toxicity and avoid being manipulated by them. Moving on to a story now about greedy narcissistic siblings. My grandfather passed away about a year ago. My dad is one of 8 children, so he has 7 siblings. He has a brother and sister who are trustees on my grandmother's estate. Now that she has passed on, the siblings in charge of the estate are responsible for executing the terms of my grandmother's will and distributing the inheritance to the rest of the siblings. I'm sure I could tell you now. I'm sure you can tell by now where this is going. Yep. My grandmother's house was sold and the proceeds are in escrow, waiting to be distributed with some funds that are sitting in a couple of trust accounts. The 2 siblings who are the trustees are in a legal battle over the distribution of the inheritance. Well, you would think that would already be in the will who gets what. All the executors are supposed to do is make sure that the will is followed. One sibling has accused the other of embezzling from the trust. Of course, that sibling has no proof. With little prodding from another sister, they hired lawyers to sue the brother and begin an investigation into how he managed my grandmother's financial affairs over the past 30 years. Funny, no one had any objections to how he was handling things while my grandmother was still alive. Now, it's only now that she's gone, he must have had been stealing the whole time. Coincidence? I think not. Of course not, because the other siblings wanted nothing to do with the grandmother's health and taking care of her when she was alive. So they're not going to say jack shit. You're not going to see these people, and there's not going to be a question of the inheritance, okay, until after that person's died. And then they don't have to get their hands dirty, and they have no responsibility towards the grandmother whatsoever. So, this is common. This is what you're going to see. My mom and I have speculated that another brother must have stirred the pot somehow and planted the seed to make the sister suspect the other brother, trustee, of stealing. I think in an early video you may have referred to that behavior as triangulation. Yeah, they're just planting the seeds, to build their monkey army is what's going on. Anyway, the inheritance was for all 8 siblings, my dad included, is now in limbo while 2 trustees fight it out in court. Oh, it gets better. I forgot to mention that the sisters who hired the lawyers to sue their brother also tried to recover their legal fees from the estate, which means everyone gets a smaller inheritance. I don't mean to laugh, but it's so typical. It's so typical. I don't know how they think they could just hire lawyers over unsubstantiated accusation and then expect the rest of the siblings to pay for it from their portion of the inheritance. Well, the other problem is the lawyers that take this case, because if it wasn't for scumbag lawyers taking this case, this would get nowhere. But they don't care because all the money is going to end up going to this lawyer, It would be like if I stole money from your bank account without permission to pay for some cool stuff I don't need and then expect you to get angry and then expect you not to get angry that I stole it from you. Ridiculous, greedy assholes. Hey, but that's narcissism. No one else matters. It's all about them, them, them. And that's exactly what it is. You can't question a narcissist. You can't question anything they do. They're allowed to do whatever they want, and you be damned if you're going to dare question them. But meanwhile, these people had no questions when the one sibling was handling everything with the grandmother, her upkeep, her health, and maintain, because they didn't want anything to do with it. Because then the brother's like, "Oh, you want to take her to the hospital? You want to take her to the doctor? You want to?" No, they don't want anything to do with it. They're not going to surface until there's the least possible resistance. By the way, grandmother was a nice lady, but she didn't have that much money. Just the house and maybe another $100K in assets. I think the sisters are pissed off for some reason that they thought there would be more money. Like I said, greedy assholes. And instead of just being grateful that there was anything left, considering my grandmother was 90 when she passed on, they are behaving like spoiled children. Because these narcissists make claims to your shit before you're even dead. That's what's going on here. So, and then they always have, what that you so much and me so little type of mentality. And they probably book their lives thinking like someday down the road they're going to get this huge payday from the grandmother. That's what it is. But they already lay claim, narcissists are already laying claim to your stuff before you're dead. That's younger narcissists. At this rate, the lawyers will get most of it and everyone will end up with less. It's so sad and stupid. My grandmother would be spinning in her grave if she knew. As for me, I've been no contact with my dad's side of the family for the past 15 years. I knew when I was a kid they were all fucked up. So when I became an adult, I just decided I didn't want them in my life. I felt bad about it at first, but now I just know I made the right decision. My poor dad is caught in the middle and doesn't understand why his siblings are doing this. He's done the best to stay out of the fight, but his youngest sister called recently to throw him under the bus for not joining their lawsuit. In the meantime, he'll probably wait for whatever inheritance is left after the lawyers get paid. It's just a shame, it's such a shame that people get like that over money, but what a bunch of dumb children. Anyway, thanks for reading my story and for all that you do. These videos are really helpful, are really helping us all. The reason they want your father to join the lawsuit, because that's what the lawyer is telling them to do. Because the more clients he has, the bigger percentage he's going to take. This is just stupidity. They're stupid. So you got stupid siblings as well. Not only are they greedy, but they're stupid. And they don't understand how lawyers work. They use this lawyer as like a badge of like, oh, we got a lawyer to sue. That lawyer's only after your grandmother's money. And the reason they do this and the reason people do this is because narcissists are laying claim to your stuff before you're even dead. And then will resurface once you are. Will have nothing to do with, your health, checking in on you, taking care of you, helping you out. None of that. None of that. It's only about the money at the end. It's only after you're dead are they concerned, and they're concerned about money. Money. It's a shameful situation, and I'm glad you've been in no contact with them for so long. Okay? But these people are going to eat each other. They're going to eat each other alive, and there is going to be no money left, and they're going to have no one to blame but themselves. And at that point, you should just, even though you're not going to get your cut of it, what were you going to get anyway? And is it probably worth more to watch them all self-destruct? Which is exactly what's going to happen here. I feel bad for the sibling that was the one taking care of her and was helping her out, because in the end, he's the one who's ultimately getting screwed over and having his good name dragged through the mud. But for your own well-being and, for your own mental health, sit back and enjoy the show. Sit back and enjoy the show, because that's all you can do. And if your father's going to get involved, it's only because the lawyer is telling them to get him involved so he can add another client and add a bigger cut of his goddamn commission. That's what's going on here. So thank you for your contributions. Thank you for your help. Thank you for your story. I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, everybody. And again, if you enjoy this channel, please consider making a contribution to the GoFundMe link in the description box. And remember, if you do make a contribution of any size and you want your story made into a video, you go right to the top of the list. This is Ollie Matthews. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all again soon.